So okay, and to Mitch's point, like you look at this card. I mean, you have Nick Aldis, NWA champion, notable. Chris Masters, who has gone through everything. I mean, Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus he's fighting Nick Aldis, which to me is an amazing matchup. So a lot of times I would say you start this promotion, how much of your clout is doing it, and how much is it that thank goodness there's just another independent circuit for wrestlers to showcase their skills?
I actually really think that is where a lot of the excitement is coming from about dungeon wrestling, is that we have such a legacy that my grandpa established, and people just want to be a part of it. And they want to be a part of a show that my dad's involved in, and obviously he's not doing it, but like he's involved. And so I think there's some really nostalgic wrestlers that are coming for people who watched Stampede Wrestling back in the 80s. So the Billington boys, they're Dynamite Kid, like Tom Billington's nephews. And they've just sort of broken into the wrestling industry. They've never been overseas. So this is like a big deal, nostalgic for our families, and all this stuff. But so them being there really hits a note. And then Brian Pillman, he's actually starting to really take off in his wrestling career.
Well, I bet he's great. And for those who don't know, he's in AEW as part of the Hollywood Blondes. He's fantastic. To me, he's actually my favorite guy that I want to see.
Yeah, me too.
On the card.
Oh my God, he's just an angel in real life.
Really?
I just love him. Yeah,
he looks exactly like his dad.
He does.
It's creepy actually.
When you can take a mullet and really make it work,
that's true.
It works for me.
Yeah, it's a nice mullet. Yeah,
it's a good mullet. That's how the French say it, Jade. We're worldly people, so we might throw a lot of these terms over.
It's exciting.
So sorry to. So dungeon
ahead.
Wrestling history. Dungeon, obviously a homage to your grandfather and the dungeon. But you told me a really cool story when we got together a few weeks ago about the logo, the name, and I want to focus on you and Dallas and the family putting this together and putting that on.
So I have two brothers, and they basically, started it. My brother Dallas is sort of the foreman, what's the word, the forefront? He's at the forefront of it.
Yeah.
So when we were kids, our nicknames for each other, Blade being the youngest, his nickname is Boy. And then Dallas, his nickname was Bear, because when he would cry, he sounded like a bear. Anyway.
I'm sure he appreciates you telling him.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to love this part. And so the logo, which my little brother Blade made, he's a student at ACAD it's a boy wrestling a bear.
Oh,
okay. It's a play on their nicknames, which I think is really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I love the story, and I think it's important to do the story. So how hard is it to put one of these on?
You know what? It is very stressful. I am not gonna lie. You kind of are ignorant, I think, when you do these things. You're like, I could do that. That's super easy. And then leading into this show, especially because it's at the Pavilion, there's a lot of pressure. Yeah. There's even you don't want to let anybody down. And generating ticket sales is not as easy as you would think. Social media can only go so far. You got to almost hit the pavement still, which I didn't think would be something we would have to do. But anyway, it is quite stressful, but I think it will be worth it in the end.
Oh, absolutely. No, the promotion alone, the names alone, the people that follow the wrestling circuit, and even now the CJSW people that are listening on 90.9, they're going to be coming. So don't stress too much. They're coming. I got a question. I think I'm going to ask the question that everybody has always wanted to ask, and I just thought of it. You guys are okay. You got your grandpa's dungeon. Everyone's heard of it. What was it actually like down there? Would you go down there and play? Yeah. There's the toys in there. What? Tell me everything about the dungeon.
We actually would. So it's almost like a dojo.
Yeah.
It was mats on the floor. There was a few weights, but the room, honestly, was not that much bigger than the one we're in right now.
No way, really?
It was not very large. Yes. So it was a dojo style, so you would just roll around and we would all just go down there and everyone would just play. But the sort of more interesting story for us grandkids was that my dad and my grandpa had wrestling rings in the yard. We had one in our pool room. I don't know if you ever came
Yeah,
to one of
yeah,
our
I
parties.
do. Yeah. Couple.
Yeah.
Too many, maybe.
Yeah. But we used to play four corners in the ring and like messed around in the wrestling rings, which now I think I'm like, that was so wild that we were like, just go outside, go play in the wrestling ring. That was.
Second question. You had two brothers that obviously, probably terrorized you a little bit. How good is your floor game? Like, could you take your brothers out or what was?
Actually, and I swear this is true. People don't believe me, but I was in amateur wrestling at H.D. Cartwright. I did it for, I think, just grade 8. And I'm undefeated.
Really? Well, wow, big surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing undefeated, undisputed.
I just didn't have the mic game to sort of
Yeah, we got maybe we could get you back in.
So
This is practice.
You were the only undefeated Hart. There we go. I love it.
I'm gonna third question. Which of your uncles is the best substitute teacher? I think I had them all when I went. So you got Keith and Bruce. Let's put it down to those two.
No, Uncle Ross.
Uncle Ross.
Uncle Ross.
Actually, Ross was also my sub as well. I was scared of Keith the most because he had a mustache, and I was like, any guy with a mustache, you gotta be, you gotta be careful of those guys.
Well, he was scared of Mitch too because he didn't.
I also had a mustache.
Well, Mitch had a mustache and that beard from elementary into junior high. And
I did freak him out a bit. He's like, "Are you sure you're in the right class here, boy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
And he was also that height. Like he has stayed at 5'2".
Okay, last question. Does Bruce Hart wear cowboy boots everywhere he goes?
He does.
Yeah,
Yes. Custom.
Like, the best is he was my sub one year, and he was our gym sub, and he walks in with cowboy boots, and we're all looking at him, but everyone is mesmerized. It's Bruce Hart, and he wears his bandana too. I mean, this was then. I don't know if he does it now, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Getting picked up for prom has been very intimidating in that household.
Yeah, no doubt.
See what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday. I be locked in.